Beerzerker! Innis and Gunn Toasted Oak IPA, oak aged beer at 5.6% alcohol by volume. Innis has been coming out with a lot of great stuff, and I've been trying to nab up all the new Innises I can get. So every time I turn around, and today I turned around and found this one. So let's give this one a shot. This is I've never been let down by an Innis and Gunn beer. The Canadian Cherry would finish. I was a little let down, but just out of my own personal taste, it was not a low quality beverage. It just wasn't exactly my bag. So let's check this one out. Oh wow, I can smell that. That's awesome. Wow. It's a little bit outside, I would say. For an IPA, we're looking at that color shot here. Quite pale. Oh, fabulous aroma on these hops here. It doesn't smell like an Imperial though. It's a mild hoppy aroma. We're not getting a whole lot of resin, and we're not getting a whole lot of citrus exactly. We're kind of getting a very polite IPA hop here. Oh wow, that was really cool. Oh, what a finish on that. Okay, that was wild. Ooh. I almost want to say I'm getting some bubblegum out of it. This is gonna have to turn into a wine review. Holy smokes. There's some freaky flavor associations here. Wow, it's kind of rubbery and fruity like texture. You know, it's kind of got a little bit of a juicy texture, we'll say, and quite a bit of bitterness in the finish, like just straight bitterness, kind of conjoining with that alcohol. It's like an alcohol, and then just a straight hop bitterness. Like I say, we're not getting a like to me the Imperials taste resiny, and like a lot of the West Coast stuff is just like mega citrus. Not always, but and I'm not really pulling out I'm pulling out a little bit of citrus, but it's a little more uh, almost peachy or something. It's a little bit yeah, it's kind of like a plum a bit or something, a little bit there. Uh, Great carbonation texture, great texture to the beer. It had for me it's disappeared. Maybe I got a bit of grease in my mouth or something. It is lacing quite well. Mm, that is super refreshing. Out of the fridge like that. Wow. As for the oak, I think that's giving it a lot of the complexity and kind of filling out the beer. And so they say oak age, so it says oak aged beer. I'm not seeing anything referring to a barrel. So I don't know if they're just using stainless and throwing oak in there to finish it, or if they're doing it in barrels, because it says oak aged like no other beer on your top sticker here, and sometimes it says, you know, you think they would mention the barrel. So I'm thinking maybe they didn't use a barrel in this, but that's just speculation here. Of course, you got the 3 hop additions, but yeah, doesn't say much else. They say they're calling it an authentic IPA, which, I think that authentic IPAs aren't like how we know them. From what I've seen, they're actually a little bit more brown. So, we'll take that with a grain of salt or whatever. Extremely refreshing. Yeah, and the oak is filling it up, maybe giving it that almost fruit-like texture, possibly. mixing with the malt. So we are picking out a little bit of malt in here, and wow, I'm liking it. It's typical Innis. Like once we get down here, like it depends on the glass because I just watched beer sampling with Dave's review on this one, and his was streaming of carbonation. He was drinking out of a completely different glass though. I'm using this Stella, you know, tulip type glass. And I'm not getting a whole lot of carbonation coming out of it. It's flattened right out, typically like all the other Innis products. Yeah, turn into a mega low carb, flat pond scum residue type head from that I'm familiar with, and I am pulling out that oak. And these guys got a pretty good website, so I mean that would always be a good reference if you're really curious, is to check that out because they got so many beers coming out. And brown bottlage here. And I did the Rare Oak Pale Ale, which I absolutely loved, and it came in a brown bottle as well. But so far, those are the only two that I've got out of a brown bottle. Word on the street is that they're all going to come out in brown bottles. I don't know if that's just hearsay, but I guess we'll find out. I'm a bit skeptical as to seeing them put out the Innis and Gunn original in a brown bottle because so many people would be used to getting it bottle skunked. You know what I mean? But it'll be kind of cool to find out. Yeah, it's an original style beer because of that oak. It's only 5.6, which is a little bit low for an IPA for me. And then the oak is kind of giving it a little more complexity. So it is, and it kind of scrapes on the way down like a lot of Innis. So it's a little bit not the easiest drinking IPA. It's very refreshing and crisp, but it's not like, for a lot of the doubles I get and stuff, I just guzzle it. Like it's, but this is definitely, it's giving you a little bit of bird on the way down. Coca-Cola shit, you know what I mean? Now the aroma is you couldn't get a cooler smell out of something. I mean, it's just neat. It's so great. This is the world of beer has really gotten impressive. I mean, all these different beers. I mean, it's a one of a kind beer. There's no doubt. So I'd like to see someone clone this. I don't think that'd be too easy to do. So, I think a lot of good ideas. Like if you haven't had the Rare Oak Pale Ale, I highly recommend that one. They've used Scottish Gale in as kind of like a hop substitute, as a traditional substitution for hops in Scotland. They use sweet Gale, and they threw some of that in the Rare Oak Pale Ale. I'm guessing alongside hops, well for sure. But it was a really great beer. This is a really great beer. Definitely not my number one. I'm not really gonna think of this in my typical IPA category. It's outside. It's an IPA, but it's an Innis and Gunn. That's what it is. My brain's not gonna throw that into the same categories, doubles or imperials or West Coast IPAs exactly, because it's a lot different. And now I'm really picking out the oak because that's maybe warmed up a little bit, and getting into it, picking up a bit of vanilla in the finish. So, Beerzerker, that was one cool ass Innis product as usual. As for a rate, I don't know. I'd say it's a 9.5 out of 11 to me. It's a great beer. It definitely wasn't off the Richter scale, but it was definitely pretty good and price. At $16.99 for a 6-pack, that's a little above what I would like to pay, but I'll enjoy it. And I'm glad they're at 6-packs because it is cheaper than buying these Innis singles, which is the way I usually find them. So now we're getting Innis and brown bottles in 6-packs. This shit is getting Innis is really branching out. I think that's a great thing, and it's making a lot of people happy. And it's a once in a while treat. That's for damn sure. Beerzerker and I am out.